Morning. We had, what did we have? I think there was like a 60% chance that it could rain by about 2 o'clock today. And that was a few days ago. Yesterday, they had taken the rain right away. And then I heard a funny rumor that they didn't know if it was rain clouds or smoke. Anyways, this is Mom's car. As you can see, it's raining. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stick the grain trucks in the shed. Dad's got the dryer fired up. He's going to, we left a load of dry grain in it from last night, so he's just unloading that. I'm gonna tarp Carl, the Super Bees here. And then I think I'm gonna, while Dad's drying, I think I'm gonna put the straw chopper back on my mom's combine. So I was just getting ready to throw the chopper back onto this combine, and I noticed a couple of bolts were loose. And on closer inspection, the bolts that were loose were supposed to be holding a pulley tight. And because it wasn't tight, it was allowed to shake and rattle. And it actually broke the tin. So I'm going to take this all apart and then get the old welder out. Could be able to weld that back up. So back in there, that was all cracked. It was all cracked around the back. It was all cracked back up in there. All over, as you can see. From the inside out, if I'm moving too fast, it was all cracked in there. So we're not by any means fantastic tin worksman people or fantastic welders, but we managed to get it. We didn't paint it or even grind it off all that much because we're gonna run it for a while and see if it cracks again, because there could be other issues. This piece, like lots of this, was broke. And what had happened is there's a nut way up there. You can't see it, I don't know. Maybe you can see it. Anyways, up there on the other end of this, it wasn't even on there, and that was a brace that was supposed to hold all of this. So it was just rattling around there for God knows how long. But we're gonna fire it up here now and see if it rattles. All right, so they're gonna go try it. It's still rattling, and I'm not sure why, but we'll run it for a few rounds here and see what it looks like anyways. So I just got back here from the field. My dad, he already got that hopper underneath this hopper bin grain vacked out. Another nice reason to own a grain vac. You can use that thing for anything. So he got that cleaned out. I was under the dryer, I cleaned that out. These batch dryers, the way they work. So I'm inside the dryer. Grain shouldn't get in this part. If it is, you probably got issues. This is there's like an inside part, and then the grain flows around it from the outside and flows down and gets picked up into this auger, lifted all the way back up, and then cycled back around. And a big fan blows fire into this inside to heat it all up. There's this agitator dealio here. It's pretty straightforward in here. This just turns real slow, agitates the grain around. It just keeps circulating through until it's dry. But down in the bottom, it's hard to get that all cleaned out. So I stuck the grain vac in, I got a bunch of it. The rest of that I'm just gonna scrape out just a little bit. Scrape that out and then I'll take it up, give it to the chickens. They'll be happy about that. Before I get going too, these dryers, I think the new ones have hydraulic legs or whatever. Ours just has a bunch of little holes for adjusting it to get it level. And when all the barley we dried, it filled up on this side first, which is handy because it's the side you can see. If it fills up on the side you can't see first, usually it runs over. You get pretty good at shoveling. But it was quite, quite distinct or whatever that it was low on this side. So I just jacked them all up one hole on this side, run a few loads of wheat through there and see what it looks like. If I made it much worse, I'll just like pretend like I didn't do anything, and I won't tell anybody that I did that. And if everyone's like, oh wow, the dryer's way leveler, then I'll be like, yeah, no, I did that. It's the perks of doing things when no one's around. All right, that's the first load of 2020 wheat going in the dryer. Good evening. So it didn't take long to get rained out. When the crop is borderline it doesn't take much rain at all to shut you down. So we went out, we gathered up the trucks, brought the combines home. So I am off now to have supper, and then I will be out later to check my grain. As far as videoing that probably won't happen because, well, it's just not that exciting. So to everybody that watches, thank you very much. To any new people, welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody has a good evening. We'll see you all tomorrow.